Kravitz. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you are missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good evening and welcome to episode 445 of Picks and Ponies right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your very proud host, Howard Kravitz. Thank you very much for joining us tonight as we are here to cover a big day this Saturday night. Not Saturday during the day, Saturday night at Turfway Park in Florence, y'all, Kentucky, for their big Turfway Park synthetic championships, 4 big stake races. We're here to cover all 4 plus the last race, of course, which is the pick 5. And there's a big contest also coming up this weekend at Turfway, which we'll talk about, which is they qualify for the NHC as that tournament. And this host is co-sponsored, of course, by our newest partner, Twinspired. Thanks for joining us. Please listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor. You can follow us on X at HHH Racing Pod as we continue to grow. We've got great tip sheets. Here's one of them. We'll talk about the other one later. Power Picks tip sheet. It's our standard one. A fantastic ROI. Still over 2 hours, going on 5 years now. I've got to go ahead and change that banner very soon. Look below the video player for information about our standard Power Pick tip sheet, which comes out on Saturdays. Of course, please smash that like button below the video player. Hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen there in red, and on the top right on YouTube, please hit that notification bell, because when you hit that bell, you'll be notified when new content on the show will arise. You don't have to go to our YouTube channel. You'll just find out through email or however you set up that information, hitting that notification bell. All right, let's get into our show and our great co-host, because we got a lot to talk about. First, from the Saratoga Special and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he's a little bitter. He's a little angry. I guess we'll wait for the rant later to find out why. Mr. Paul Halloran, and of course from the East Coast of Maryland, back from his vacay with his family. He's here for the holidays to warm us up and put it some wonderful good cheer. Who other than Pete Visco? Well, with the thumbs up and the fireworks, the pre-Christmas fireworks.
Wait, the biggest surprise I heard, Paul is angry about something? There must be. I've never heard that before. What
you loved it, Pete. You love it, don't you?
I was hoping you weren't angry that I'm returning. That's long as it's not about that.
No. We're happy to have you returning, of course. Gentlemen, I don't know about you guys. I know it's not one of Paul's favorite subjects. The weather right now just sucks in the Midwest. I don't know. It's not that bad out east yet. You guys have been sort of fortunate, and it is going to affect what's happening Saturday. I'm sure they're going to run. A high is 30 degrees Saturday in Cincinnati, but the low is 3, and it's going to be very cold Sunday. So, we're talking about temperatures in the low 20s. Probably for racing, Paul. No worries, right? What's the worry?
The weather sucks.
There it is. In 2 words. That's
it's
all.
Not that bad out there, though, for you guys, right? You haven't gotten any nor'easters or anything, really,
No,
right?
we haven't got snow, but it's been cold as a witch's tit. I mean, it's been unbelievable.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you when my dog gets me up at 5:30 in the morning and decides she wants to go out on a walk. It is not pleasant out there, even here in Maryland these days.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, I know you hate when I do this. Your sound sounds like the mic's not on, and it sounds like it's only the computer, maybe. I mean, it's very usable. I don't know if you did something different, but it sounds like Nat sound instead of out of your microphone. Do whatever you want.
I don't think I did anything. It could just be my raspy voice today. Let me see.
Okay, that could be it too. No worries. Guys, we got big stuff to talk about. By the way, Sunday, Bears, Cleveland, high 10, wind chill, -5, Paul. Yikes.
Yeah,
all right.
That's
anyway.
A free space, isn't it?
Yeah.
I fixed it. Does that sound better now?
It does not. Paul, do you hear the same difference that I do, or is it just me?
Yeah, it's a little tunnely, but he's fine.
Yeah, no, you're fine, Pete, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's get to the races, guys. Pete, how about $1 million that Turfway Park is putting up? $1 million 4 stake races for this time of year, Pete. for Turfway / Churchill Downs, whatever, to put up $1 million for 4 races, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean,
much better now. Whatever you just did is a million times better.
Plugged and replugged in. So
there you go.
I went the unplug the computer route when something's not working. So I just unplugged the headphones. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it attracted some really good horses too. I mean, it's a fantastic sequence we're going to be talking about. So, like, hey, what a surprise when you put up a little bit of money, people actually show up. I know that's hard to believe.
It is. New person in the chat, guys. Good cat. Interesting. Snow in the forecast in Florence, y'all. Yeah, they can handle it. Let's see here. Katie's here. Thank you. Sylvain. Well, Sylvain's in Montreal, guys. So, please no complaining. It's been snowing for a week in Montreal. Sorry, Sylvain. We hear you. But, he's in the Great White North. So, let's see here. Another new person, guys, in the chat. L. Goldman. What's up, Mr. Miss Goldman, whoever that is? Oh, sorry. Dash Win Play Show. I like it. Chilly 75 degrees in LA. L. Goldman, if I knew you better, I would maybe do a certain gesture right now on the screen, but I'm going to, keep it clean. But man, that must be nice. Sorry, it's only 75 there in LA. Really feel bad for him.
Paul has an itch. Don't mind him. He's scratching his itch.
All right. Guys, let's get to it. Anyway, you got 4 big races to talk about. We got a little rant from Paul. I hear it has something to do with a team that he supports. Maybe I don't know what it could possibly be about, Pete. But let's get into it, guys. Race 6. And by the way, I'll talk about some other things later.
Are we only doing 4 races, or we're not doing the 5? Did I handicap 1 too many?
6 through 10? No.
Yeah. Okay. You said 4, so it threw me off for a
second.
second.
The 4 stake races.
Oh,
sorry,
the
4 stake.
I got you.
Yeah, no problem. We don't want to just have that. Let me. I got.
Yeah, shouldn't that maiden race be the first race in the sequence? By the way,
it should be. Yes.
Yes. Well, then you got a stake race on the last, though, Paul. We don't usually do that in this country.
I love when they do that.
I hate become a little more popular. Yeah, we do
that.
Just Churchill's done it. Yeah.
By the way, Howard, production conversation. Did you notice that StreamYard now has Christmas backgrounds in case you want to get festive as we get closer?
I
just
did
saw
Festivus.
It popped up. Yes.
Festivus for the rest of us. It is. It's under notes. Actually, it's under I saw it. Maybe we can pull up some Christmas.
I mean, we don't have
Grinch
to do
should
it
be
now,
good. I love the Grinch.
Yeah, I actually got to find it, Pete. You'll have to talk about
that
maybe
while you
I saw that they were promoting it, but I don't really see how to do it.
Yeah, I didn't. I talked without actually knowing how to do it. I just figured.
That's all right. Race 6, the My Charmer, named after Pete Visco, I'm sure. The My Charmer Stakes, Claiborne Farm, big field here of 11. That's going to be a theme as usual. Turfway, big fields, of course. We do have morning lines. I need to refresh here. Sorry about that. Let me refresh. We should have morning lines. Okay,
I haven't seen them yet. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, they were a little late. Yeah.
Yeah, mid-afternoon, Pete.
Okay, I never looked.
Oh, they didn't come out till today. Okay, interesting. Yeah. I know they were a little delayed in getting them out. Here we go. Sorry for my delay. Morning line favorite. Wow. Kaylin, her greatness. 7-5 for Kevin Attard and Flavian. Let's see where we're going, guys, to open up the pick 5. I'm going 9-2-3. Paul's going with Caitlin. Pete's going 7-2-9. Paul's going 2-3-8. Paul, you surprised to see Caitlin, her greatness this low in the morning line? Your top choice 7-5, sir.
Yes and no. Yes, because of the size of the field, but no, because I think, if she runs her race, she's going to be very difficult to beat. She's a synthetic specialist from, speaking of the Great White North, Toronto, not Montreal. Very consistent. You never want a 7-5 shot at Turfway. I get it, but this is not a Turfway race, as Pete pointed out. They really drew. Where are you going to run for $250,000 on December 13th? Right, so they drew some good horses. This is a grade 1 winning horse from Canada on their day, and the bonus is Pratt, who's already ridden her successfully once, gets on. So I think the post is great, which is important at a mile at Turfway. I know we'll talk about that. I think she gets the trip prep once, and I think this is the competitive field, but I think you got to kind of reach to make a case for anyone other than her and maybe one or two others.
Okay. She's definitely logical. I've got her second. Pete's got her second. She can win. She has burned a little bit of money lately, although she's been favored, Paul, but now like it's not as if she's been, 6-5. I mean, she was 3-2, math people. 3-2, 2 starts ago, just over 2-1 in her last start. So she fits. She's very logical. She's the high weight. She can absolutely win. Pete, you're gonna go to the 7 horse in this race with your top choice. Vina Arana, I bet this horse last time, obviously successfully. I couldn't believe, what I almost got off her, Pete. I used her in the pick 5, which I didn't know before the race that when she won. But I was going to use her in like reverse tri keys and a win end.
Yeah.
And she was really cold on the board, and I almost didn't pull the trigger. I'm glad I did though, because I got almost 8-1. I thought she was very impressive. Maybe a tick slow on the buyers.
Yeah, definitely a little slow, but the thing that I liked, and again, 12-1, which I did not know when I made the pick, which is very appetizing.
Yeah.
But the horse, so he came over in August of 24, got a win going 8 furlongs, although that was on the turf. Then was off for a long time, came back, didn't have the greatest race, but that was a mile and 3/16 on the good turf. Then comes back again, gets the win going a mile again. So I like the fact that at least this horse likes, maybe this is the right distance for the horse. Now, she wasn't great when she was on synthetic, but that was way back in late 23, early 24. She just seems like a better horse now. And if we looked at the time form, at least the projection is looking like there's at least a solid pace up front. We see this horse doesn't have much early speed at all, if any. Like, she won't be maybe dead last, but she'll be in that like third level, as you could see right on. Actually, they got her pretty far back here. But, she generally is a little bit ahead of a few horses. So we're going to need some of that pace to heat up. So the bad thing is a horse like Caitlin and her greatness is going to get the jump on this horse. But if somehow she gets, a little stuck on the rail, or maybe is a little too close to the pace, or maybe just isn't as sharp as she was, I think this one will be coming late. And maybe the play you said before, talking about a horse like, maybe a reverse tri key or some sort of back wheel, something like that at this price, but I think has a shot to win. Definitely needs improvement. But, it's only her 8th start, so she's still relatively, she's had big gaps in her time too, so she probably has some room for growth, I think, still.
And Michiz is off to a pretty good start right now
not bad.
At Turfway. I didn't have her in the top 3, Pete, only because I think it's a little bit of a quick turnaround. I might be nitpicking here, but it seems like she's better with spacing, and she's only coming back in a few weeks. But if she runs well, wouldn't surprise me, and you're getting a price. So good luck with Vina Arana. Guys, I like She's Looking Lucky here, and I like her a decent amount. And I'm getting 8-1. Machado is off to a great start as expected at Turfway. I like the fact she's got some tactile speed, guys. And the way I see it is exactly the way that the pace projector looks at it, where the 9 is going to set off the 5 and the 6. At least it looks that way. Caitlin, her greatest, probably won't be too far back. She's just awfully consistent, guys. I have very few knocks on her. And what I really like about She's Looking Lucky in this race, gentlemen, is for the first time in a while, the last 2 races, but especially the last one, she's able to rate a little bit and come off. I think she's getting older. They've been able to settle her down a little bit. She's become more mature, and she closed pretty well against Proctor Street. And guys, Proctor Street's a pretty darn good horse. Proctor Street would be, even money in this spot, in my opinion. So I think she's taking a small class relief. I think she sits a good trip. I have no problem with the distance. My only thing I don't like, and Pete, you've got her 3rd. Not a big fan of the 3 for 22 with 7 seconds. She's a bit of a nibbler, but maybe she's just getting good here. And I believe I read this is either her last start of the year or her last career start. I can't remember which one I read, But I would assume they have her cranked up for this last race for at least a while.
Yeah, you would think so, and I agree with you. So, like, I had her third, but the win end scared me because she
Yeah,
just doesn't
fair.
like to win. And Matt Shire, by the way, 0 for 26 in stakes races, so he's looking for his first stakes win, at least in the last 5 years. That's a little tough. The Dam Side, though, I like because this horse has never been on the synth, but Worldly Heiress, the Dam Side, the Progeny, 22% win. It's sprinting only, but at least there's an affinity for synthetic. So there's some decent
Henry's
synthetic.
World.
Yeah, sprinting though,
Ensign
all
Parker.
of them. But I don't think that should matter. At least there's something there synthetic wise. So yeah, I like the horse, but on the win end, it just scared me because, like you said, she just finds a way not to win races, unfortunately.
Not only that, yeah, I mean, she hasn't been on Sin, like you said. So, I mean, there's some knocks against her, Paul, but I think she fits. So I'm going to use her, but, you know, it's not like my play of the entire day. You got next up also in their play. You want to quickly talk about your third place horse? And by the way, I should mention Matt Shire is fantastic at Turfway lately. He's a younger guy. He's coming on. He's like an up and coming. So that stat doesn't bother me quite as much, Pete. But again, you can't argue with the stat. But you know, he's
sometimes
it's not like his barn is loaded with stake horses.
That's what I meant. I was just going to say it's not like it's not like he probably has a ton of them. But you know, this one too has to make a move up to do that, and maybe that's what a lot of his horses are doing.
Yeah, Paul, I like next up. I think this might be a little bit too much for her, but you know, it's the kind of horse I like. This sort of progressive 3-year-old's getting better. She can take a step forward here.
Yeah, I thought the last race was okay, you know, on the turf, obviously, but this distance in a pretty good grade 2 field at Keeneland, I thought that was okay. Luan's brother, is
Dylan,
it
I believe. I think it's Dylan,
has come over and you don't want to race at Churchill right off the bat. So yeah, I think this is the type of horse I want to have as a B, as kind of like a price, you know, if you can get that in. But the other horse I would just mention, Howard, and I think we all use her somewhere. You know, Literate is potentially very tough here. Second start with Brad. You know, this is clearly not I don't think a dirt horse. Ran him on dirt at Churchill and the Chaluki. I think this is the turf/synthetic horse, and Irad sticks around. I think that horse is going to be formidable.
Yeah, I think Literate's dangerous. I'm glad you mentioned her. She's got, you know, the turf breeding on the Dam Side. She beat Kaylin Her Greatness in July. So like, why
1
not?
out of 3, yeah.
Yeah, and she was up close to a pace. She just didn't get a great trip. I actually liked her a little bit in the Chaluki, like underneath. She was up to a fast pace against Shred the Nar, who just freaked, and you know, I thought that was a tough field. I agree. Literate is dangerous in this spot, but will be bet probably more than she should, to be very honest. So that's how I feel about Literate. Let's go ahead on to the next race. Paul, would it be fair to say for you, it's either Caitlin or several others? For you?
It's Caitlin. I'm going to use Caitlin and Literate as far as in a caveman situation. Those would be the only two I use.
Okay, I think Pete and I feel it's a little more spread out. I don't want to speak for you, Pete, but that's the my feeling.
I feel like it's Caitlin, or you could go a bunch of different ways. I think.
I'm not as high on Caitlin as
well,
you guys
I just
are.
I think at her best, she's the only one that I think I have a little confidence in. The other ones I all have questions about. That would be the way I look at it.
At her best, she wins for fun.
Yeah, I think so.
At her best.
But I don't think that's a guarantee with her. That's the problem. Yeah.
No, it's also the end of the year, guys, right? So, I mean, some of these horses are, you know, a little tired from, like, I mean, the trainers are not going to run them unless they think they're fit and ready to go. But, I mean, you never know. Plus, again, it's going to be cold, etc. All right. Holiday inaugural, guys, again, presented by Claiborne. This is a very nice 6 furlong race for the girls. $250,000, as we all know. 6 furlongs, field of 12 with an Arkansas bred AE. Moreline favorite is number 3, Pondering. Walsh and Irad. Let's see where we're going. I'm going 2-7-3. Paul's going 3-12-2, and Pete's going 3-2-9s. A lot of 2s and 3s in here, but Pete and Paul are simpatico. They don't have to ponder the winner because they believe Pondering will just get the job done. What say you, Pete?
Yeah, it's funny. I had 3 horses picked last night, and then today I re-looked at the race and sort of switched the order around and I changed them up a bit. So I thought this was a tough one. I wasn't super confident, and now seeing Pondering at 5-2, I don't know if that's the greatest thing in the world. But this horse 1-for-1 on the synth, and then hit the synth for the first time last out at Woodbine and had a lifetime buyer top and a lifetime time form top. So you like that whenever you see something. And speaking of Caitlin and her greatness, there she is in second there. So she actually beat someone who was of pretty high quality. But I like whenever you see a switch like that and then you see a move forward. So then at least there's going to be some affinity for the synthetic. Has some nice works too over the Turfway track. So I don't think coming to Turfway is going to be a problem. There you go. We see her. What number? Where is she? I forget.
The 8th, the
The
Godolphin
8, right?
Blue.
Yeah, it's right there in the blue. So you see, it's not like she's running down a dog there. She's running down a pretty quality horse
No.
at that point. So, and did it, I thought it wasn't like, just snuck by or got like I thought she ran well. She came on late. And again, I really like the works over the track, and I think she could work out, at least based on what the way the pace seems to project. She seems like she can work out a similar trip to last out, and this time you're getting IRAD to get that trip. So I guess that's where you get the drop in price. But I feel like from a trip standpoint, he's going to work out a trip, going to have this horse relatively close, and we see that she can close and pass horses.
She's very logical, by the way. I don't know what's going on with Robert's communication with their video. It's the reason why that we can't like put those replays like full screen anymore. So I apologize.
Yeah, that's everybody, right?
It's everyone.
First,
Yeah,
I just thought it was
Noah's
me.
having the same issue, but
Yeah.
everyone's having the same issue. So Paul, the positives are this is a 3-year-old Godolphin horse who could be just getting better. The negatives are she just got a perfect trip at 13-1, and now it's going to be 2-1.
Yeah, that's fair. But what I liked about the last race is that the tactics were just totally different. This horse was running turf sprints coming from the back of the pack. Cannon had her 3rd out of 14 at the first call last time, and that's going to be necessary. There's not much speed in this race. You don't want to be coming from the back of the pack in this race. And I think time form backs that up, if I'm not mistaken. So I just thought, yeah, I hear you 100% on the difference in price, and especially with IRAD. But I just think this race is begging to be won from, near the pace. And with that tactic change last time, I think she's very logical.
I think something to keep in mind I'm going to put us on full screen, guys. And I talked about this with Jackson Muniz last night on our leaderboard show, episode 5, which will lead into my, no pun intended, something I want to mention after this race. I'm very familiar with Tapeta synthetic, guys, because of years at Arlington. I know not Arlington had Polytrack. This is Tapeta. So it's Presque Isles, Tapeta. It's all different. Woodbine is more Polytrack. It's all a little bit different. Anyway, here's the point. When it gets very hot and warm outside, these synthetics tend to get a little sticky and waxy. The times slow down, and actually it favors closers usually. Like you get that kind of outside flow with closers. When it gets either wet or actually when it gets cold, like it's going to be Saturday, at times, no guarantee, the track can get pretty tight and it favors speed and you get more kickback. Here's my point. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Watch for track trends early in the card and see if inside speed plays well. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not saying Turfway is setting it up that way or some kind of nefarious BS. It's just something to keep in mind, Pete and Paul.
Yes, that's fair. Well, yeah. You talked about the weather, as we know you love to do. And by Saturday night at 8:55, when this race goes, if it's going to get tight, it's going to be pretty tight. So, and this race again, I don't know how you guys saw it, but when I handicapped it, I just didn't see much speed. So that's even more reason if that track trend is an issue. It's even more reason to be looking for someone who could be on it or near it.
Guys, L&J is a bit of a weird horse. I bet her last time, and she was awful. There's just nothing else to say other than she was bad. But you know what? I maybe I just made a bad bet. Well, I did make a bad bet. But you know what, guys? When you look at it, her first 2 races were on dirt. Her first race was okay, right? Second race, fast pace. I mean, sub 21. Hello. Not very good, though, at the end, right? Last race, not very good. Look at her turf and synthetic. This horse is begging out for turf and synthetic, guys. And the fact that Cox is coming back in 2 weeks, Pete and Paul, I actually like that. Normally, I don't like that, but this is an in Cox I trust with Flavian. This horse wants synthetic, wants turf. She was way too bad to believe. Picks up Pratt. She's got numbers that fit. I'm expecting a huge bounce back. I don't think either one of you would push back on that. You guys have her in the money, Pete. You've got her second.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a contender for the win end, and it was pretty close. I can't even remember if this is the one I had as of yesterday, but yeah, and that race came back, the race 2 back where she ran second on her, trying the Synth for the first time. The winner came back with an 88 buyer and a grade 3 and ran second, and the 4th place horse won next out with an 88 buyer. So at least that race is coming back solid. So that, and then I agree with you. The note that I had was just doesn't like dirt. I just think maybe isn't bad on it. Not terrible, but just not good. And it's just better on synth and turf. And one weird thing, and this isn't much because it's one race, but Brad Cox, 3 for 28, going dirt to synth in sprints at Turfway, which again, that always jumps out at me when it's one of those top trainers who never has a bad percentage. You any stat you see
that is interesting.
A stat like Cox, a person like Cox or Chad or some of them, their stats are almost always good under any circumstance, even if they're not great. So that one jumped out at me. I don't know if it means much in this case because I just think she just doesn't like dirt.
I'm guessing his 2-turn horses, P and Paul, are probably just better than his sprinters in general. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Agree.
But again, Pete always was able to ready to throw poo-poo out there for everyone to.
You never know. It's just
to consider, right?
Yeah.
Something to think about. So that's the 2 and 3. We've got others in there. I've got the 7 in the mix. Actually, more in the mix. Here's another Godolphin runner. I think Civetta is very live here, guys. I think she's getting better. I've got her second. I don't understand this 10-1, to be very honest. Again, Walsh and Machado, I think she's going to be more like 5-1. I think she's very live here. I guess it sounds like Paul agrees. Nice as pie. Good luck to Kelsey Danner and the Crownsway group. I think she's a little bit of a cut below, but she's run very well this track. 8 out of 9 in the money. So that's a horse that Pete's got in for third. And Paul for second, very quickly. You've got Girl of My Dreams, 15-1. Maybe a wire job you're looking at, Paul?
Well, strictly, and you have to go from out there. Not as much at 6 as at a mile, but I just think I talked a lot about the race flow, and I just think that a horse like this does have a shot to, have to go to the lead anyway, and never know, could get brave. I'm with you on the 7, Howard. I have the 7 as an A on my grid. I think the 7's a and lastly on the 2, I hear you on the 2, and I want to use her a little defensively, but I don't think you're going to get great value on her either. I really don't.
No, probably not. I would agree. Yeah. There's a big time riders riding on Saturday. I mean, why not with these purses? I'll tell you what also is big time, guys. Weekend Warriors is back this Saturday night at night, 8:45 to 10:15 Eastern. The Aqueduct is wrong. I didn't change that. My apologies.
Unless they put lights in, they're going to use the lights from Resorts Casino as they're blaring the music. Those idiots.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's complete ridiculous. As I'm changing it here as we speak.
By the way,
as
you do that, I'll talk for a second. And not about horses. If you go to Style when you get a chance, when one of us is blabbing about something, there's a little thing where you can add at the top. It says add the Christmas pack, so you can add the Christmas pack, and it has some backgrounds and overlays for Christmas.
I thought I was supposed to have that, and Pete, I don't have that.
So when you go to weird? Style, there's not a little box under brand that says add Christmas pack?
Nope.
Oh, I have it. Maybe I can add it and see what it
Oh.
looks like. I didn't want to add it during the show, and
This
then
is
all of
what
a
I'm
sudden,
saying,
like,
Pete.
snow starts coming down or something.
It's
Something
like
weird
weird.
happens.
No, it's not that. It's just a background. I know.
Yeah,
I
know.
got an email. It's just a background, but I don't have. It's
All
so
right,
weird, Pete.
I
All right,
added
we'll
it.
talk later. No one wants to know
Yeah,
this.
no, I just figured
Anyway,
while you were
Weekend Warriors guys. Noah Maher is hosting. How about that? I will not be there. Noah Maher is hosting with, I believe, who's joining him? I'm drawing a blank now. I believe Patrick is joining him. Oh, there we go. And I believe Kyle might be joining him. But we still got some new fresh blood. Well, there it is. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, just hit some stuff while we.
All right.
While we talk.
Anyway, live show for the big NHC qualifier contest, guys. Check it out. 8:45 to 10:15. The last 3 races or so. Weekend Warriors, very popular. Whether you're playing in a contest or not, you're just playing the last 3 or 4 races, or you want some entertainment on a Saturday night. Why not join our show at that time? Okay. Oh, now interesting. Now that you press that, actually, it shows up in the. Now I do have it. Okay,
I like
this
this
very
background.
bizarre.
Oh, we can't see it. There's a nice snowman. Now I don't know what your background was, but
Oh.
sorry to waste time.
Can we
everyone.
just put up the Grinch and move on with the goddamn races?
There is no Grinch. They're cheating us. They probably don't have the
For
rights,
Christ's
Paul.
sake.
It costs money. The Grinch.
Jesus.
the Prairie Bayou. How about that, Paul? Race
Good
8,
transition.
$250,000, 1 mile race. Wow. Look who's back, Encino from the far outside in the 12 hole. That is the Moorline favorite, actually. Boy, a lot of Godolphin love possibly this Saturday. Cox and Flavian. Let's see where we are going. I'm going 5.37. Paul's going 5.39. Pete is going 12.75. Pete Encino, nice horse, tough post.
It is a tough post, but I have a little bit of faith in the guy on the back of Encino, Flavian Pratt, to find a way to work out a trip. This is one of those horses that has sort of danced a million different dances, goes to dirt, goes to turf, goes to synth, just sort of bounces around, graded stakes, non-graded stakes, a little bit everywhere. But when he's on the synth, he's just pretty good. He's 4 for 5 in the top 2 at Turfway. As you can see, he's 5 for 5 in the top 2 on the synth. He won, he won the Prixisle Downs mile, whatever the last race was called, 2 back with Pratt up as a big favorite. But still, I like the fact that Pratt already has a ride on the horse, sort of understands the style. And you see that closed into pretty slow, very slow fractions there. You see the time form coded blue. Yeah, Paul's ready for whatever the rant is today. I think he's easing his way up to it, and we're going to get there soon. But yeah, this horse closed into those fractions, and I think there's a lot more pace in this race. If I remember correctly, yes, at least as far as time form is concerned, is projecting a fast pace. So I think there'll be enough pace. And again, if it was maybe a different jockey, I'd be a little more worried about the post, but I trust Pratt to get this horse in the mix and at least be relatively close.
I think the first turn is going to be huge because I'll tell you that mile comes up pretty quick, Pete, and he's going to have to find a way not to be hung wide. I mean, what happened last time now, Wolfie's Dining was completely freaked. You can't say it's the distance because he almost won this race he almost won the nice Kentucky Cup Classic on this track going a mile and 1/8. He's run well going longer. You can't say the distance was a problem last time. He just never fired at all.
Just bad, yeah, which was weird. Yeah, I did, but he's done that. So you look like 5 back. He was in the Pimlico Special. Now, granted, that was on the dirt, but he was crap, and he was crap in the Gulfstream Park Mile, but then came back and was good next out, and then same thing.
Before the race I just talked about. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right. So I'm just saying, at least this horse has shown that can throw in a clunker. And it doesn't usually repeat itself. So it usually comes back. He usually comes back with a good one after that. And at least that, again, I didn't see the odds. So 3-1 from the 12 hole is a little tough, but I just think he's a really quality horse when he gets back on the synth.
Yep. I actually have to make a change here. You guys did nothing wrong. I changed my opinion on something in the last 24 hours because I already wrote the tip sheet and I don't want to go against what I did on the tip sheet. So I'm actually going 3-5-7, guys. Minor change. But I do like Dresden Row, Paul. Won last time. I thought did it really well. I've always liked this horse. I bet this horse many times. He's a big horse. He's long-winded. He doesn't have like a great turn of foot, but he's very consistent. When he's good, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, this is a tough race for me. I love Encino as a horse. It'll be so bad if I don't hit the pick 5 and he wins. That would be just so sad. That would get me even grumpier. Because I think synthetic, Encino, I think, is one of those horses, Pete, who's good on all surfaces. But I think synthetic, if you look at the PPs, might be the best.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just, I'll tell you, this is the horse they should use in the ads for Nyquist. I mean, imagine throwing horses like this who can win graded races on all 3 surfaces. But anyway, back to Dresden Row. Yeah, Howard, I agree. Very consistent. 11 out of 15 in the exacta. All 6 career wins on synthetic. I heard a lot of talk about on another podcast, guys I respect, but will the Woodbine form hold up here? Well, there's a lot of horses coming in who have not run here. This horse has run once and run second, but that's going to be a question mark for. Honestly, I think too many horses to worry about it. So I'm perfectly fine with this horse. That was a really good effort last time, as you mentioned, Howard. I actually like also the horse that you picked second, the 3. You'll see I picked the 3 second. Oh, you picked on top, I guess. I picked second. So, I thought Howard, despite this horse's consistency, I thought maybe a little higher than 4-1, but I guess we're going to have to live with that.
Quick question, Paul. True or false? The variance between synthetic tracks is much less than the variance between dirt tracks. In other words, when a horse like Dresden Row, well, he's run at Turfway, but a horse has never run at Turfway, but they're coming from Woodbine, you're less concerned about that than, let's say, a horse coming from Saratoga that's running at Thistle Downs or, whatever.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, because we do, like Churchill's the good example for that, right? With the dirt, you're always looking for a horse in the Derby, especially, who maybe has shown some Churchill form. And yeah, there is no doubt, we see it every year, horses ship in and out of Saratoga that run differently there. I think that's probably fair if we take Gulfstream out of the equation, because that synthetic is just, you might get 4 dot boards and 7 darts and good luck there. But I think that's fair.
I don't even know what that means, but I like that analogy.
I just thought it's interesting to think about, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, cameo performance. You're gonna laugh when you read the Power Picks tip sheet that I just started writing today. Guys, this horse drives me crazy, and I think I can't remember the adjective I used on the tip sheet, but this horse is so overdue. I've bet this horse probably more than any horse in the last 3 or 4 years, to be very honest. And I keep losing. and I keep putting this horse on top. I mean, Cameo Performance is talented. He always finds a way, it seems, to get in trouble. But he always runs, not always, but he usually runs very good races. And I can always find excuses for him. So people are like, Howard, why are you putting him on top again? Maybe IRAD can get the best out of him, guys. He almost won the Muni's Memorial in his first start of March 22nd of this year. No shocker, guys. I bet him at 15-1. He almost won, but he didn't. I bet him 2 starts back at Keeneland. He should have won. He didn't. Last time, guys, this is a major. To me, this makes a big difference. I don't know if you guys watched the replay. The short comments completely miss something. The short comments say, let me scroll over, say inside 4 wide of the 8th pole, lost place. Okay. I'm not going to disagree with that, but did you guys see what happened on the far turn? The jock, I'm drawing a blank now. Let's see. The jock was
Declan Cannon.
Declan Cannon. Watch what happens, guys. He tries to get through on the inside. Again, I got to give me a second. Okay, he's the 8. Watch what happens. Again, it's not in the short comments. I'm sure, guys, I'm finding another reason why, why he's going to lose. But watch. Okay, so watch the 8. Getting a good trip. He's in those Qatar colors, right? Just watch carefully. Ken tries to get through the inside, and I'm sorry you missed it. Hold on, I was looking down at the wrong time. Sorry. It looks like he almost brushed the rail.
And almost
Some
hit
of you
the
guys
rail.
did.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah,
right? So
like
right when he tries to go inside the 2, I apologize, everyone. So it's coming up here. He decides to go inside. I don't know why. Right? Do you see that right there? I mean,
Yeah.
he brushed the rail.
Yeah.
It lost some momentum. I don't know about you guys. That can't feel good. Now he does split, but he sort of lost his momentum. And Dresden Rose, speaking of horses we know, he's in this race, got the jump on him, and Cameo Performance actually got beat out for 3rd. I don't know, guys. It feels like that had to take some starch out of him. And if Declan Cannon made a better decision there, or just got more lucky, isn't he closer? I don't know. Again, maybe I'm I'm laughing, guys, because maybe I'm looking at stuff that I shouldn't be looking at. And it's like, here we go again. There's going to be enough speed in this race, guys. He gets an inside trip. I don't mind the mile. It actually might work better for him with a faster pace. Maybe he's just better going a mile. I'm going with this horse again, guys. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Well, you have him in second, Paul, so you like him.
I got him as an A, yeah.
I have him as
and
he was my fourth. He was my 4th horse. He was on my A line when I went initially through. So I'm with you guys too.
Yeah,
All right.
and I didn't see the head on Howard, but it didn't look like there was any room to get through on the rail there.
Yeah, I don't know what he was. I don't want this horse inside, Paul, on the final turn Saturday. If I've got a bet on this horse and he's like 7-2 or what, I don't think he's going to take a ton of money. I want this horse saving ground, and then I want him swinging out, Paul, in the middle of that, and just let him roll. And if he's not good enough, he's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's what he did at Churchill on the Turf Classic, and he ran okay. That was a very tough, Spears St. Louis. That was just too much. Anyway, we'll see. It's going to be a fun race, guys. Let's go on to the second to last leg. This is the Holiday Cheer. This is the last stake race of the sequence, and boy, you want to get some good sprinters at this time of year. I'm not sure we can get a better one, guys. I mean, this is a very, very good field, I thought. Let me take that off the screen. 250K. Look at some of these names. 12-horse field, 2 AEs. Moreline favorite is my namesake, the number 3, Howard Wallowitz, D'Angelo, and NYRA. Let's see where we're going this stake race. I mean, guys, well, I mean, you guys are finally coming to your senses. You all love Howard. Oh,
love is a stretch.
I should just end this.
I like the Big Bang Theory, but I do like the Big Bang Theory.
I gotcha. I'm going 3-5-6. Paul's going 3-11-5. Pete's going 3-7-8. All right, Paul or Pete, since you fairly start crapping on me, tell me why you favor, not love, just favor, sort of like Howard Wallowitz.
Well, it's funny when we get to our best bets. I'll spoil it. This was one of my best bets, so it's maybe I love. Maybe I do love. Maybe I do love Howard. But the horse is. I mean, there's nothing to. You don't have to dig too deep to figure out. I mean, this horse is super classy, and 2 for 2 on the synth. Has a win over Turfway with a 101 buyer in this race last year, beating the 2-horse Run Carson, right? Yep, yes, the 2-horse. I mean, you see the horses that this went against. You look last time out, they tried to stretch the horse out, grade 1. I just think that's too far for him. That's not his game. And it was against Rhetorical, Program Trading, Brilliant Birdie. I mean, those are pretty top-notch horses. So I don't even think twice about that race. Now we're getting back to what he likes to do, sprinting and back on the synth, where he just seems to be really good. There's a quick pace projected again, so he could sit off. And again, IRAD fits this horse's style, I think, perfectly. And if you look at the works have just been awesome coming in. Now, he's a really good work horse, so that's not surprising, but you just like to see, hey, the last one wasn't that great, but now coming back out of it, the form just looks pretty sharp. Again, I just think he makes all the sense in the world. And I mean, I think if you can get 5-2 on this horse, I think that's worthy of a win bet. I don't think you will, but I'm just saying if for some weird reason you did, I think that's definitely. But I would bet him at probably 8-5, 9-5, maybe. I just think he's really good.
Guys, I don't think this is going to hurt his performance, but how about coming from the warm, sunny Palm Meadows and then getting off the plane in Florence or wherever they fly into?
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Cincinnati. Thank you. That's a little bit of a shock to the system, though.
Hey, he went from Del Mar last year and went to Turfway, and went from the Breeders' Cup and then went to Turfway, and he won
that's
this
actually
race.
True.
So,
good point.
Maybe he likes it. Maybe he likes to cool off a little bit every once in a while.
Paul, this is, by the way, look who's in the chat. Noah Maher.
Hey, Noah.
Host of Pacific Horse Players. What's up, Noah? Host of Weekend Warriors. You want to read that, Pete? That's good information from Noah. And there are workouts available on the Kentucky website, KentuckyBred.org, everyone. KentuckyBred.org has workouts for Kentucky horses. Why don't you read that, Pete?
Yeah, so Noah says Cameo Performance and Pondering have been working together on the Turfway synth, and both are looking muy bueno, which I think means very good. If I don't know anything about Spanish, but I think I think I know those two.
And Noah throws a little Spanish our way. Thank you very much. I throw a little French in an internal email I just sent an hour ago with actually some very exciting news that I'll talk about next week. Paul, Howard Wallace just cleared the horse to beat. I mean, there's really nothing more to said. I understand why they went to the Turf Mile at Keeneland. Like, they wanted to see if they could stretch him out. I didn't like him in that race. Of course, you love that race with Rhetorical.
I'd like to see the replay of that race once a day.
I'm sure you do. My only concern with this horse, Paul, is maybe that they tried to stretch him out and that dulled his kick, but I'm sure D'Angelo has tried to get the speed back into him. I didn't like him in that race at all. I thought that was a mistake to run there. But I mean, I don't own horses of that quality, so I guess I understand why they tried it.
Yeah, it's a grade 1 race. Jose D'Angelo, I hope people are aware of. He did win 2 Breeders' Cup races in a row a month ago. He is, I don't know if I want to say an up-and-coming star or just a star. I mean, this horse won this race last year. Best, I guess he ran a 102 on turf, but with a 101, he gets IRAD just for good measure. He ran a really good, coming out of the Saudi race. They took a huge swing in Saudi. That didn't work out.
No.
Gave him a long time off to recover from Saudi and just missed the Kentucky Downs in one of those $1 trillion grade 2 races. I think he's the most likely winner on this card. Well, I've only handicapped these 5 for now, but I certainly think he's the most likely winner in the sequence. And yes, the airport is in Kentucky. So you come out of the Cincinnati airport and take a right and drive 12 minutes. You're at Turfway Park.
Yes, I've been to that airport several times. I've flown into Cincinnati on my way to Lexington a few times. Actually, on my way to Louisville, a few times. Best way to get to the Derby, by the way, fly in to Cincinnati and drive, as Paul knows that as well. Anyway, guys, I think this horse can win. But I'll tell you what, I think Rest Me Red's a little interesting. There's a lot of interesting horses. We're not going to talk for 20 minutes here. If the speed develops, I think Rest Me Red is very honest. He's good. He likes Turfway. He's 8-1. He's got Machado. I mean, there's my 10-second reasons why I like Arrest Me Red. Paul, you've got that 1/3. P, you got some outside horses, and Roll On Big Joe, who won for Noah Maher at Churchill when I was there in person on Stephen Foster Day. Tapita, big question for Roll On Big Joe, but he certainly got the class, Pete. And then, look at our friend.
Win on the synth, at least. He's got to win. And the perspective, the sire, 22% in synth sprints. So at least we know that there's something there behind it. So yeah, go ahead. Go to your no balls is next.
I think he's lost a little bit off the fastball. I mean, he's lost a lot. He's lost a lot more than that, but we're talking about the speed, not body parts. I don't know. Is he still good enough to win this race, Pete? You think he might be? I'm not so sure. I think Paul's probably not so sure. But I'm going to use him. I don't know.
I think he's got a shot. I think behind Howard, I think a lot of them could jump up. I mean, he's another one he's 11 for 12 in the top 2 on the synth. He's run well here. The distance suits him.
Yep.
He's funny. He hasn't his recent wins are all with Lasix but he's won in the past off Lasix. So I don't know if as he's gotten older, the Lasix have become more useful for him for some reason, one way or the other. And maybe that's a thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think if he runs his race, his best race, I think he's definitely got a shot. By the way, Paul, you were saying how happy you were with Howard Wolowitz's last race, because Rhetorical got you the pick 5, right? That was the one on the show.
Yeah.
Two back when he lost to Bear River, that cost me the pick 5. That was the one when he couldn't get through on the rail, and then he got through late and he couldn't get there. That one cost me the pick 5. I just checked just to remind myself of the pain there.
The way I feel about this race in general, guys, I think there's a big difference between 5.5 and 6. I think the class really shows at 6 as opposed to 5.5. I know it might seem nitpicky, but I don't think it is. And I just think unless the pace gets really hot, I just think you want to go with the class here, which would be Howard Wolowitz. But I don't think it's a sure thing at all. I mean, anyone goes all in the contest on Howard Wolowitz is dicey, because I think there's a lot of horses that can win this race. We got one more race to cover, guys. Please remember Team HHH. This is our premier membership. Go to our website. On the top of our website, hhhracingpodcast.com. There's a bar on the top of our website for Team HHH. It's our premier membership. It's over 90 tip sheets, and you get Breeders' Cup package. You get Kentucky Derby package. You get free contests, not Twin Spires. We don't conflict with them. Free internal contests where you can win money. So Pete and Paul, if you sign up for Team HHH and you can do well in these free contests, it basically pays for itself. You know, you're literally getting tip sheets for free, literally. So please look into Team HHH.
And international, you know, we
international Davy Lane. By the way, big night tonight in Hong Kong Saturday night with some serious group races, including Kai Ying Rising, the #1 horse in the world. What a ridiculously good sprinter. If you don't know about Kai Ying Rising, I mean, this horse is completely ridiculous. He's 6 furlong turf specialist speed, 5.5. Yeah. He's not like a dead closer. He's got tactile speed and absolutely explodes in the lane. Anyway, fun horse. All right, guys, last race, and then we'll get to our best bets and Paul's rant. We got a woof already from Paul, which means it's a tough race. I'm sorry, I skipped right to it. This is not the race. It's main special, my $100,000, mile 16th. Big field of 12, 2 AEs. 2 horses are going to take a lot of money. Thailand, the 4, and Empire West, the 5. Let's go to our picks. I'm going. Is that right? No, that's not right.
I think mine are definitely wrong.
Mine's wrong too.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I put it into. What the heck did I do here? What do you got? What do you guys got? I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't.
5, 10, 4.
Okay. I don't know how that happened. 5, 10, 4. What do you got, Pete?
5, 4, 7.
Okay. Sorry about that, everyone.
I am chopping it up, apparently.
7. I was going 5, 4, 7 also.
Yeah.
I did exactly.
See the odds. I'm chalking it up in this season.
You know, I put it. That's so weird. I put it in here. I don't know what happened. Maybe I. Oh, I know what I did.
Lost in it probably got
no,
lost.
You know what happened is Pete knows this. I went down to that second grouping of our top 3 instead of the.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
Yep.
I know I put it in. I was going crazy. All right.
User error, folks. User error is.
Anyway, Pete and I are going 5, 4, 7. Paul's going 5, 10, 4. We're all going Empire West. Paul, Cox and I are at 5 to 2.
Yeah, it's interesting. Pete, you just said that about chalk, and I think I have 4 out of 5 favorites. However, I will say this: in my pick 5, in the 7th race where I picked the favorite on top, Pondering, I'm going to be 6 deep. And in this race where I picked the favorite on top, I'm going to be 5 deep.
Nice.
So while I did pick the favorite, I do think both of those races have a chance to blow up.
And be fair to Paul, just to be fair to our viewers and listeners, we did not know the morning lines as we handicapped. So it's not like we're chalking weasels. It just turned out that way. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, they came out late. I mean, this is, again, you're playing this horse to progress off a good first time out. You know, it didn't take a tremendous amount of money for a Cox horse, 7 to 1. Also, a Cox horse debuting long on turf, you don't see every day. I didn't run the stats, Pete, but I bet that doesn't happen that much. But, again, in these Turfway races in general, and especially in these maiden races to end the card, I'm not sure you can get enough coverage. The other races are tough too, right? So you got to. So again, I'm going to pick the 5. I thought the 10 was my kind of cute horse, second time starter, took some money last time, didn't run a step. That was on turf at Keeneland, and all the maiden specials are tough. Brendan Walsh puts blinkers on. Morales and Walsh are good together. Walsh has great numbers second time out. The pedigree says synthetic should be no problem. So that's kind of my clever horse of my picks, but my logical horses were the 5 and 4, as were you guys.
Oh, look at the number 8. Helpful Howie. Oh, isn't that nice? By the way, Worldly Heiress, Pete, that horse is related to, why am I drawing a blank? That's the same dam as the horse we talked about already.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is it? Oh, She's Looking Lucky. My top choice.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. I don't like Helpful. I don't like Howie. I like Howard. Actually, everyone called me Howie till I was like after college. Then I became more of a adult sounding name. Anyway, Empire West Pete beat 1,000 Sticks, who came back and won with a 75 buyer.
Yeah, did. And actually the winner looks like it was a crappy the next time out, but it was an off the turf slop race. Okay. So on the dirt, so I can excuse that. So that race didn't come back bad. And then the move to synthetic, I mean, the Medaglia d'Oro is 14% wins with synthetic routes. And the dam side, this is the dam's only runner so far, but the Grand Dam is a stakes winner and graded stakes placed on synth. So there's enough synth there to make it feel like this one should transition relatively easily, I hope. And again, we get IRAD again, which is why we're IRAD and Cox. We're sitting at 5-2. This is weird though, because yesterday I really liked the 4, and then as I re-looked at it, I switched the 2. So I landed on the 5 after looking at the race again this afternoon or this morning.
I could tell you some guys a short story about the 4, Thailand. I was there that weekend when he ran at Keeneland. This is a bigger horse, and even Ward said that this is not like one of his like speedy out of the gate types, which is why he didn't win his debut, and it's why they sent him long. I don't like that he was on the lead in that race, guys. I think he's going to want cover. He sort of inherited that lead in the Churchill race. I think he's going to lay a little bit off and get a great trip. He's no world beater, though. The horse I do want to mention as we end the show, and actually I thought this horse would be bigger morning line, is, what a great name, McGinnis on Tap. And I'm sure that you looked at the time form, Pete. I don't know if you did, Paul. This is very polarizing because his time form figs are much better than his buyer figs. And in fact, that last one, Pete, if I recall, was like a 90 something. It was like really good, which should put him like 4, 5, 6 lengths better than the 4 and the 5.
It's actually 100.
Yeah, okay, I remember that correctly.
You got 100 time form and a 58 buyer, and generally for anyone who doesn't look at the two, they're usually around 20. Anywhere from 15 to 20, but generally around 20 difference. So that's a huge. So he has no time form in the debut. Then he had a 91 compared to a 60 and then 100. So if you're just a time form user, you're looking at this horse like, man, this horse is really progressive. And from a figure standpoint, sits near the top, but from a buyer, that doesn't look like that. So yeah, it's
the other ones were like low 80s, right? Time form. So do I remember that correctly? Somewhere around there, mid 80s.
But the other horses,
4 and the 5. The 4 and the 5.
The 5 is 86. The 4 has a 90 and an 86.
We're going to talk about this more on the show. I don't know if people can see this. I got this from Craig Mulkowski, who does time form numbers. This is how many lengths at a distance each time form number is. In other words, at a mile, 1 length time form is about 1.5 time form points. Okay. If you believe in time form, and I know we do in general, whoops, I just messed myself up there. The race that the 7 ran last time is about legit 15, 16 points better. That makes the 7 in the last race, it's hard to believe, like 7 or 8 points better than the 4 and 5. Now, I don't think he is, but what I want to just caution everyone is the number 7 McGinnis on Tap, according to time form figs, is clearly the horse to beat in this race. Take it or leave it. I think part of that, guys, is the mile and 8th at Keeneland. Look at those fractions. 47 and change, 112 and change, and he was up relatively close. So the 7 is very polarizing, guys, in the last race. I don't know what's going to happen. We shall see. Fun
My
sequence,
concern with
guys.
him, Howard, was that he tends to be further back and there's not a lot of speed here. So I just wasn't sure if he'd get the right trip for the win end, and maybe he would just be running late and not get there. That was my only concern.
First two races, I agree. Second race, he was up closer to a faster pace, which is partially why I got such a big fig. So yes, but you're right about the first two.
So I don't know. Yeah, you don't know what his trip is yet. Yeah, you don't know what his trip is yet. Yeah.
Paul's going to race 6 for a pick 3. He's going to single the 2. Who is that? Oh, that's Kalen of Greatness with 312 with 35. That's Paul's best bet. Pete's best bet, race 8, a pick 3, 5-7-12 with 2-3-7-8 with 4-5. And then he's going to race 9 with a win bet on the 3. That is Cameo Performance, right?
No, that's Howard Wallowitz. Unless I put the wrong.
No, you're right. Nope, you're right. That's Howard Wallowitz.
Yep.
Okay. And my best bet, I'm going to race 8. That is the Cameo Performance race. Now I'm exacta box Dutching 3-5. So I'll play 3-5 and 5-3. That's Dresden Row. I won't play them the same. And then I got to put a win bet on Howard Wallowitz. I mean, how can I not? So
when you see the odds, you're going to change your mind on that.
What is he going to be, Paul? Honestly, 7-5?
Sub 2-1 for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll bet the Howard Wallowitz double into the helpful Howie. Howard Wallowitz into helpful.
Hey, I'm up that.
Double.
It's an easy game.
That's it.
That would be something. I'm not going to bet Howard Wallowitz under 8-5, Paul. So I might not be betting him, but we shall see. It is now everyone's. Speaking of the holiday season, Pete, it is now everyone's favorite time. Paul's rant of the week. By the way, a lot of great things coming out of the symposium in Tucson. Maybe we'll talk about that next week because there's some great info from, especially Pat Cummings, who we need to get on this show, guys, ASAP.
Absolutely.
About a lot of issues, but
how about him and Marshall Graham, and then we just shut up and let those two talk.
We really should. Well, now it's time, Pete and I, for us to shut up and let him talk at the bottom. Not about CAWs. Let's hear what Mr. Halloran has to say this week.
Well, I want to compare our beloved sport of horse racing to, for some of us, and I think probably most of us, our beloved sport of college football. And the lesson is leadership matters. We talk a lot and, we joke, Rapoli jokes about being the commissioner and we have a chuckle out of it. But I think we all know that horse racing does need a single commissioner to be in charge. And apparently college football does too. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the playoffs, but I would remind people that I don't speak for people, but I tell people what to say for a living to some degree. And I just want to tell you what the guy who the college football playoff committee sent on national TV after the brackets came out said a few things. One, that head-to-head only mattered with Miami and Notre Dame when they were next to each other in the rankings. It did not matter when they were 2 apart. He then said that they did not move seeds 5 through 8 at all because none of them played last weekend. Well, they moved Notre Dame, who did not play last weekend. Again, Miami beat Notre Dame. I get it. Alabama was a total no-show. Brigham Young gets screwed because the conference championship matters. They got blown out. Alabama was a total no-show. Miami over Notre Dame. Okay, they beat them head-to-head. Miami lost to Louisville, SMU. My point is you got to have some leadership here. You got to have an adult in the room say, even before they get in the room, look, we can afford one of these other G5 or F5 or whatever 5 teams, but not 2. It's not the basketball tournament. And most importantly, whatever we decide, we're not going to send out someone to sound like a total idiot and talk out of both sides of his mouth and the examples I just said. So, yeah, I'm a little bitter that Notre Dame didn't make it only because they're one of a handful of teams that could have won it all. There are probably 8 teams in that bracket at least who can't win it all. So anyway, that's my negative, but I do want to end on this, Howard. I want to encourage everyone to go to thisishorseracing.com, which is, as you know, our Saratoga special website. Tom Law posted a great column today. We suffered a great loss last week. Terry Hill, who became, he jokingly called himself the oldest intern in the history of the Saratoga Special. He started working for the special in 2019 at the ripe age of 74.
Wow.
And he was out there every day hustling, and he didn't make it up last summer, but he spent several summers working, and just well-read, well-educated advertising exec, retired, great mentor to the pups. Never covered racing live until then, and he was always a coat and tie with a fedora, and just a joy to be around. And I would encourage you to read Tom Law's tribute to him on the website today, as well as a companion piece with some of the recent interns talking about how much of an impact he had on their lives. So rest in peace, Terry Hill.
Yes, rest in peace. That's a great story. And I mean, Saratoga Special is just such a...
if you want to now joke about, I don't want to joke about death, obviously, but Terry would appreciate this. You know who that makes the oldest person on the special staff now.
I didn't want to say anything, Paul. I didn't want to jinx anything. You'll have to hire another elderly intern, apparently, just so you're not number one.
Tough, Pete.
By the way, Paul, the way you described the quotes from the head of the committee, or the spokesman for the committee, it sounds like he should run horse racing. He'd fit right in the way horse racing is run. So sounds like we're simpatico with them.
I am not a big Notre Dame fan. I know we've got a bunch in our podcast family, although I do feel for you guys. I have two things in response. Number one, beat Miami early in the year. Number two, I mean, did you see some of the spreads, Pete? What is it? These conference winners, James Madison, Tulane, are like 3 touchdown favorites. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We want the top 12, right? But we have no Notre Dame. I think you can make a strong case for Vandy, guys, to be very honest, as a top 12. You got no Texas, but I don't think they're as good as
they just not to get into it, they need to just do something where you have to be ranked at least within a certain range.
The last thought on this. They bagged this for Alabama way before that. Alabama beat a bad 5-7 Auburn team and moved up. So they gave Alabama the wiggle room to have that kind of a no-show. That's where the thing. Look, I understand Alabama's probably been overall the best program in the last 20 years. I'm not stupid. They're a 3-loss team who, in their last game, did not. If it were a horse race, we would have said they never ran a step. So anyway,
well, but that's the thing. You want to punish them for being in the conference championship game.
If you play in a game, and yes, that either that or don't have those games. Because if those games don't matter, do you want to celebrate your beloved Hoosiers for winning that game? You should. They were awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, the funniest part, Paul, is that the whole thing is usually it's all about money and who brings as much money in as Notre Dame. I mean, if you just do it from a money standpoint, you're like, usually they try and squeeze Notre Dame in just from a financial and a viewership standpoint, which what made it even more interesting.
I'm rooting for the Hoosiers, Howard. No
Thank you. They're a great story. I don't think they're winning the national championship, but they're a great story. I don't look. We could talk college football and Notre Dame forever. I'll say one last thing though. I'll get the last word just because I get to. Notre Dame sold their soul. I won't say to the devil, but to NBC. They should be in it. They should be in it. I think you would even admit this, Paul. They should be in a conference, and part of the reason why they're not is because they have actually a big reason. It's because they won the money with NBC and they won the network money, and that's part of the reason why they're not in a conference. So you reap what you sow to some extent. Paul, I will let you retort, and then we'll end.
Well, like Miami was in a conference, and at 2 losses in the ACC, they managed to lose a tiebreaker to a 5-loss team. So
what does that have to do with my? What does that have to do with my TV point?
I'm saying, what the hell does conference? Oh, the TV thing is. Look,
I'm just saying. I mean,
they have the ability to do that.
Well, okay, but they're not in a conference, and that.
But what is a conference doing for you if Miami, with 2 losses, who's a playoff team, can't get in the ACC title game over a team with 5 losses?
Well, I just think my point is if they're in a conference like the ACC, they win that. they win that division, and they win. They go into the playoffs. Is my point.
Well, they lost 2 games. They could have been in the same situation as Miami.
They could have, but if they're in a conference, I think gives a better chance to make the playoffs.
Conferences are scheduling platforms now. That's all. Because if they meant anything, you wouldn't have teams from California and Oregon in the Big Ten. Okay.
Well, that's true. Anyway. And like I agree with you. Notre Dame is clearly one of the best 12 teams in the country. And I thought they were a bit dangerous. In fact, I envisioned a second round matchup against Indiana. And let me tell you something. Indiana wants no part of Notre Dame.
That would have been great, though.
That would have been a hell of a game, right? Anyway, all right, a lot of fun, guys.
Still going to watch.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Appreciate Paul. Excellent comparison with horse racing and college football. Sorry that your Irish are not in, but they'll be back for sure. For my wonderful co-hosts, Pete Visco and Paul Howard, and this has been your host, Howard Kravitz. Very entertaining Picks and Ponies episode 445. Crush your bets, not only in the Twin Spires tournament this Saturday, but of course at Turfway Park for synthetic championships. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.